Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Gateway. Today, we are going to talk about something deep, simple, and surprisingly practical. How do you talk to the universe? Now, you may think the answer is simple. You close your eyes, you make a wish, you ask for money, success, love, peace, or a better future. But what if talking to the universe is not only about what you say? What if your thoughts, your emotions, your habits, and your daily actions are also speaking? Think about it. You may say, I want success. But if you spend every day avoiding hard work, what message are your actions sending? You may say, I want confidence. But if you are always afraid of making mistakes, what message are you sending? You may say, I want to learn English. But if you never speak because you are afraid of being wrong, how will your English improve? This is the real idea we are going to explore today. Your words are important, but your direction is even more important. So stay with me until the end, because this video is not only about manifestation or spirituality. It is also about self-belief, discipline, emotional control, personal growth, and English practice. And while listening, try to repeat some of the sentences aloud. This way, you are not only watching a motivational video, you are also improving your English. Part 1. Your life is sending a message. Let us begin with one powerful idea. Your life is always sending a message. Your thoughts send a message. Your emotions send a message. Your habits send a message. And your actions send the strongest message of all. Imagine two people who both want to become successful. The first person says, I want success. But every morning he wakes up late. He spends hours scrolling on his phone. He complains about his situation. He avoids learning, and when something becomes difficult, he quits. The second person also wants success, but she starts her day with a small goal. She studies, she practices, she makes mistakes, she learns from them, and even when she feels tired, she continues. Who is moving closer to success? The answer is obvious. The second person. Why? Because her actions are supporting her desire. This gives us an important lesson. Do not only ask for the life you want, start preparing for it. If you want confidence, practice courage. If you want success, build discipline. If you want better English, speak English. If you want peace, protect your mind. If you want opportunities, develop your skills. Your future does not begin tomorrow. It begins with what you repeatedly do today. Part 2. Your thoughts can change your direction. Let's talk about your thoughts. A thought may look small, but repeated thoughts can become beliefs. Beliefs influence behavior. Behavior creates habits, and habits influence your future. For example, imagine someone who keeps saying, my English is terrible. I cannot speak. People will laugh at me. I am too old to learn. After hearing these sentences every day, the person may stop trying, and because they stop practicing, their English does not improve. Then they say, see, I was right. I cannot learn English, but the real problem was not their ability. The problem was the belief controlling their behavior. Now imagine changing the thought. Instead of saying, my English is terrible, say, my English is not perfect yet, but I am improving. Instead of, I cannot speak English, say, I can start with simple sentences. Instead of, I am afraid of making mistakes, say, mistakes are part of learning. Notice the difference. You are not lying to yourself. You are not saying, I am perfect. You are saying, I am learning. That is realistic. That is powerful. And that is the kind of thought that encourages action. So today, pay attention to the sentences you repeat inside your mind, because sometimes the biggest obstacle in your life is not outside you. It is the voice inside you saying, you cannot. Part 3. Your emotions are messages. Now let's talk about emotions. Many people believe that positive thinking means being happy all the time. That is not realistic. You will have difficult days. You will feel tired. You will feel afraid. You may feel disappointed. Sometimes you will feel angry, and sometimes you will doubt yourself. The goal is not to become a person who never feels negative emotions. The goal is to understand your emotions instead of allowing them to control you. For example, if you feel fear, ask, what am I afraid of? If you feel jealousy, ask, what does this feeling show me that I want? If you feel sadness, ask, what needs my attention right now? If you feel anger, ask, what boundary has been crossed? These questions can change your relationship with your emotions. Instead of saying, I am angry, so I must react, you can say, I am angry. Let me understand why. That small pause creates power. You do not have to obey every emotion. You can feel fear and still move forward. You can feel nervous and still speak English. You can feel tired and still complete one small task. You can feel uncertain and still take one step. That is emotional strength. Real strength does not mean having no fear. Real strength means not allowing fear to make every decision for you. Part 4. Change your inner conversation now. I want you to think about one question. How do you talk to yourself? Do you speak to yourself with respect, or are you constantly criticizing yourself? Imagine a friend makes a mistake while speaking English. Would you tell your friend, you are useless? You will never learn? Probably not. You would probably say, don't worry, keep practicing. So why don't you speak to yourself in the same way? You deserve encouragement from yourself too. Start replacing destructive sentences with constructive ones. Instead of, I always fail, say, I can learn from this experience. Instead of, I am not confident, say, I am building my confidence. Instead of, I am behind everyone, say, I am following my own journey. Instead of, I cannot change, say, I can change one habit at a time. These sentences are simple, but repeated consistently, they can change the way you see yourself. And when the way you see yourself changes, your behavior can change too. Part 5. Stop sending mixed signals. Here is another powerful idea. Sometimes we say we want one thing, but our behavior says something completely different. That is what we can call mixed signals. You say, I want to become fluent in English, but you never practice. You say, I want to become successful, but you refuse to learn new skills. You say, I want peace, but you spend hours watching things that make you anxious. You say, I want confidence, but you keep waiting for the perfect moment before you begin. Your desire is going in one direction. Your behavior is going in another. And this creates confusion. So ask yourself, do my daily actions match the future I say I want? That is a powerful question. If you want better English, practice today. If you want better health, take one healthy step today. If you want a better career, learn something useful today. If you want confidence, do one thing that scares you a little today. You don't need to transform your entire life in one day. You only need to make your next action match your goal. Part 6. Clarity is power. Another important lesson is clarity. Many people say, I want a better life. But what does that actually mean? A better life can mean many things. Maybe you want better English. Maybe you want financial stability. Maybe you want stronger relationships. Maybe you want peace of mind. Maybe you want to become more confident. So instead of saying, I want success, make the goal more specific. Say, I want to improve my communication skills. Instead of, I want money, say, I want to develop a useful skill and create a better source of income. Instead of, I want confidence, say, I want to become comfortable speaking in front of other people. Clarity gives your mind a direction, and when your direction becomes clear, your actions become easier to choose. So ask yourself, what do I really want? Why do I want it? What kind of person do I need to become? And what can I do today? These questions can turn a dream into a plan. Part 7. Don't wait for a miracle. This is perhaps the most practical lesson of all. Do not wait for your life to magically change. Take action. If you want to learn English, speak English. If you want to become a writer, write. If you want to create videos, create your first video. If you want to become healthier, start moving. If you want a new career, start learning. You do not need perfect conditions. You need a beginning. Many people wait for motivation, but motivation is not always available. Sometimes you have to act first. Then motivation comes later. For example, you may not feel like studying English, but study for 10 minutes. You may not feel like speaking, but speak 5 sentences. You may not feel like exercising, but walk for 10 minutes. Small action creates momentum, and momentum makes the next action easier. So remember this sentence. Do not wait until you feel ready. Start and become ready through practice. Part 8. What about delays? Now let's talk about something everyone experiences. Delay. You work hard, but results are slow. You practice English, but you still make mistakes. You apply for opportunities, but you receive rejection. You start something new, but nothing seems to happen. At these moments, many people think, maybe I am not good enough. Maybe this dream is impossible. Maybe I should quit. But a delay does not always mean failure. Sometimes progress is happening quietly. Think about a seed. When you plant a seed, you do not see a tree the next morning. First, the roots grow underground. You cannot see them. But that does not mean nothing is happening. Your growth can be the same. You may not see immediate results, but every lesson you learn matters. Every English sentence you speak matters. Every mistake you correct matters. Every day you continue matters. So don't destroy your progress simply because you cannot see the final result yet. Keep going. Part 9. Learn to receive. There is another side to asking. It is receiving. Sometimes people want success, but they are afraid of responsibility. They want opportunities, but they are afraid of failure. They want love, but they are afraid of being vulnerable. They want confidence, but they are afraid of being seen. So when an opportunity arrives, they step backward. This is why preparation matters. If you want a bigger opportunity, become capable of handling it. If you want to speak English confidently, practice before the opportunity comes. If you want to become a successful creator, improve your communication and storytelling. If you want a better career, build useful skills. Receiving is not just about getting something. It is about becoming ready to handle it. So instead of asking only, when will I get it? Ask, who do I need to become before I get it? That question can completely change your mindset. Part 10. Trust yourself, but use common sense. Sometimes you have a feeling that you should do something. Maybe you want to start a new project. Maybe you want to learn a new skill. Maybe you want to create English videos. Maybe you feel that it is time to change your life. Listen to that inner feeling, but don't stop using common sense. Your intuition can give you direction. Wisdom gives you a plan. For example, your intuition says, I want to start creating videos. Wisdom says, start small, learn editing, improve your English, practice your voice, upload consistently. This is balanced dream. Big, but start small. Believe in yourself, but keep learning. Take risks, but use wisdom. Part 11. Become the creator of your life. Now we come to the most important message. You cannot control everything. You cannot control every person. You cannot control every opportunity. You cannot control every delay. You cannot control what happened yesterday, but you can control your response. You can control your effort. You can control your habits. You can control what you focus on. You can control what you learn. You can control whether you continue. A victim asks, why is this happening to me? A conscious person asks, what can I do now? A victim says, I cannot change. A conscious person says, what is one thing I can change today? That is the shift. You stop waiting for life to rescue you. You start participating in your own future. You stop asking only for change. You start becoming the person capable of creating change. Final message. So, how do you really talk to the universe? You talk through your thoughts. You talk through your beliefs. You talk through your emotions. You talk through your habits. And most importantly, you talk through your actions. If you want peace, practice peace. If you want confidence, practice courage. If you want success, practice discipline. If you want English fluency, practice English. If you want a better future, start preparing for it today. Do not only say, I want a better life. Ask yourself, what can I do today to become ready for that life? Maybe the answer is simple. Read 1 page, learn 5 English words. Speak 5 sentences. Take a walk. Write down your goal. Stop 1 negative habit. Start 1 positive habit. Forgive yourself for an old mistake, or simply take the first step, because your life does not change only through 1 big decision. It changes through small decisions repeated every day. And remember, you do not have to become a completely different person overnight. You only need to become 1% better today, tomorrow, another 1%, then another. And one day, you will look back and realize you are no longer the person who was waiting for change. You became the person who created it. So ask clearly, think wisely, feel honestly, act courageously, trust the process. Keep learning and keep moving forward. If you enjoyed this lesson and you want to improve your English while learning powerful ideas about life, make sure to subscribe to English Gateway. Keep listening, keep speaking, keep learning, and most importantly, keep becoming the person your future needs. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.